we were ready. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Dylan, the Techno Giz guy, and these are not fancy sunglasses. No, these are augmented reality sunglasses. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but look at that. On my face, I have the XREAL 2 Pro Airs, a product that when I bought them, I really wanted to like them. But I will be sending them back. Let me take these off. So, a lot of YouTubers have been reviewing these glasses lately, and I can see why. They are a good product. I'm not saying they're a bad product. I'm saying that they're not a matured product. If you're somebody who plays video games or something like that on a console and you want to hook up a huge display, these glasses are cool for that. In my testing this last couple of days and week, they're not good for much else. Let's go over some of the reasons why I didn't like these glasses. This is the case that these glasses come in. It's kind of like a glasses case that you would see normally, except it's a lot bigger. You can definitely tell that something in here is a lot bigger. I am a person who wears cargo pants. I'm a cargo pant guy. I'm a pocket guy. I cannot fit this contraption in any of my pockets. Maybe I could fit it in one of my side pockets, but it would be super uncomfortable to carry around, which means I have to put this in my backpack. The other big thing I have against these is their price. These are not the Ultras. These are the Pros, the mid-range spec of these glasses. These were $400 and some plus another $100 and some for the beam.
Editor Dylan here. Really quick. Everything in this video is my honest opinion, not reflections of XREAL as a company or any other YouTuber or anyone I may mention or say anything about. Also, XREAL is not affiliated with me in any way. They did not send me these glasses. They don't even know I exist as far as I know, besides my support ticket and my Amazon order. I purchased these glasses and the beam device with my personal credit card on Amazon. These are all my opinions. Take them as such. Do your own research. Watch other videos. I'm not putting any kind of technical graphs or anything because there's much more qualified people on this platform that can show you those graphs and are happy to show you those graphs. Please go check those people out. I'm not a technical graph kind of person. I'm a hands-on, does it work, does it not work kind of guy. So that's my style. Enjoy.
Which I will talk about this piece of shit. The glasses are in an impractical case. They're expensive, which means I'm constantly worried about them. Everywhere I took these glasses, the few times I was able to enjoy them, everywhere I took them, I was constantly worried about something happening to them. One thing, let's talk about this, the elephant in the room. These are glasses with screens, and I will get some close-ups. But from a front shot, they look fine. They look like regular sunglasses, you couldn't tell. From a side shot, you can tell. They sit a little higher off your face, they sit a little high on your nose. If you really get a good side look, you can really see in and see the screens. That's not really a problem I have. I'm not a fashion guy. I don't care about fashion. It is something to note. These are not quite as sleek as they probably could be in the future, hopefully. The screens that are in here, or more or less the actual projection lenses that are in here, that capture the image from the micro OLED screens that are in here, they are too thick for my liking. So I'm not sure if many people will have this problem. I have ADHD, and I'm constantly scanning the environment, looking at things, getting distracted, going on tangents. When I'm wearing these, even just out and about, even right now with these on my face, there's not a cable hooked up. I'm just wearing them as if they were sunglasses. Right now, I can see the border of the little display reflectors, and it bothers me. It's a little thing, and some people might be able to tone this out. I have worn these glasses for a couple of hours at a time, and I have never gotten used to it. So at least me, I can see the display outline a little bit, and just in anything like this where I'm just using the glasses as glasses, I can see it. It bothers me. It's annoying. Now, if you're watching content on these glasses, that is absolutely not a problem whatsoever. You can see the outline you can see the ridge line of the screen, but it's nowhere near as noticeable when you're watching content. I cannot make the glasses clear. So right now, they're unpowered. These have electrochromatic lenses in them. You can cycle them. I showed that earlier. I'm not sure how well the camera actually picked that up, but with this button on the side, you can cycle through the brightness, and it's basically three options. You have this standard, easy to see through, kind of sunglass-esque dimness. You have a darker dimness where it's a little harder to see through, but you can still make objects out. And then you have a really dark mode, which basically you can only see light, like direct light. You can't see people very well. You can't see objects very well unless you're outside or in a lot of light. Those are the three settings. One of those settings is not clear. However, I would love if that would be a thing. I don't see why it's not a thing. From everything I've seen about this electrochromatic technology, you can make the glass clear. So a fourth option for these to go clear would be awesome. Right now I'm wearing these indoors, and it's like I'm wearing sunglasses. It's weird. I feel like a D-bag. I don't need these. It's not that bright in my office down here. Yes, there's a light in front of me, but it's not that bright. I can handle it. A clear setting on these would make them a lot more usable, in my opinion. The elephant in the room, these are a wired product. There's a single USB-C cable that comes off of these and hooks to either your MacBook or your laptop or your phone or your iPad or whatever, or the beam, if you can get your beam to work. It's wired. There's no battery in this. There's no computing power in this. These are just screens and little speakers that fire downward into your ears. The speakers, they're okay. They get a little tinny at higher volumes. I kind of expect that from such small drivers. Nothing you can really do about it. I'm not that worried about it, but they do get a little tinny. They work. They're good speakers, and they sound loud because they're so close to your ears. And when you take the glasses off and you cover the little sensor to make it think that you're there, once you get a couple feet away, you really cannot hear what someone's listening to. It's not bone conduction. It's downward firing drivers that basically essentially point right into your ear canal. They're okay. They're just okay. The software for these glasses can be exceptionally buggy. Now, I'm going to point out by saying I am not testing these glasses under optimal conditions. I have tested these with a base model, completely base spec M2 MacBook Air from 2022. They work really well on that most of the time. I have tested these on my 2018 Razer Blade Pro, which has a 1060 NVIDIA GPU in it. They worked on there as well, not nearly as well as my MacBook, and still nowhere near as good as I would like. And I was not trying to play games or anything like that. I was just trying to use them as displays to get video work done, script writing, my regular day job stuff. I really just tried to use these as a productivity tool. I have a flagship Samsung Galaxy S23. Yet again, it works fantastically with that. I was able to get DeX working. That worked great. I did actually get the Nebula software to work. However, that leads me to my next thing is the Nebula software on Android, at least, runs itself as a separate browser. It does not have access to your apps on the phone. For example, Plex, YouTube, things like that. If I would like to watch any of those on these glasses using the app that they provide, because the app lets you move the distance back and forth, change your field of view, all that other stuff. So the app is a nice feature to have, especially if you're just going, raw into the phone with these glasses. Except it's a separate browser, so you have to relog into all your stuff. It does not use the built-in Chrome browser or anything like that in Android. So you have problems where you go to YouTube, you're not signed in. You have to sign in. For most people, that might not be a problem. for me on a browser like that, it's really annoying. I am a two-factor user, not just codes. I am a two-factor key user. I have a hardware key that runs most of my accounts. Any account that I'm physically able to run through it, I do. And then the ones I can't run through it, I run through a source that's ran through that. Essentially, you need this hardware key to log into my stuff. It never works on embedded browsers. I've tried it many times. It never works. So I didn't even bother trying. I just carried on using the Nebula or the glasses plugged into my phone, mirroring the display. My iPad, same story. There is, to my knowledge, no Nebula iOS app at the moment. It's just a screen mirroring. That worked well, as to be expected. Can't really... If you're using these for just screen mirroring, they're fine. They're great products. A little expensive for that. Maybe I would bump down to the next step down unless you really want the electrochromatic dimming, because that's really all you get with the Pros over the base model of the Air 2s, is the electrochromatic dimming. You don't get any major big features that I would say you need or are really necessary. If you can live without the dimming, just save yourself the money, get the cheaper ones if you're just using these for display monitoring. Let's talk about this overpriced piece of crap in my hand. I have very strong opinions about this piece because it doesn't work. And I don't mean like it doesn't serve its intended function. I'm sure it would. This unit, brand new from Amazon, did not work. When I plug it in or try to turn it on or plug the glasses in or anything, it tries to boot up because this device actually runs Android. You can either use this as a tether in between your laptop or your phone, and this gives you the Nebula features of being able to move the screen back and forth without having to use the Nebula app. You can also sideload apps on this little device, like Plex, like YouTube, so that way you don't even have to hook your phone to it. You can just run this. It also, kind of in like a Wii fashion, acts like a remote. Oh! On paper, it's a really cool product. However, XREAL has launched the Beam Pro, which is, for all essential purposes, it's the Android equivalent of an iPod Touch. It's a pretty, somewhat powerful Android device in the form factor of a phone that does not make phone calls. It doesn't have a SIM card tray. It's essentially an iPod Touch running Android. That's this thing's replacement, and they have not said that they're going to kill this product off, but they've done nothing but discount this product since they released the Beam Pro. They're bundling it, and some of the bundles are crazy good deals to get this guy. And this guy, from all the other reviews I've seen on YouTube, which I encourage you to check out, since my review will not contain anything about this guy, because mine does not work. Now, yes, I could file a claim through Amazon and get this replaced. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that this is going to make the experience for me all that better. Yes, this thing has cool features. Yes, I know it's flawed as a device already. The fact that I can't even get mine to turn on out of the box. And by the way, my issue is not a random issue. I looked up the issue that I'm having. It just flashes red when you try to do anything on it. Like it tries to boot up, even if you plug the glasses in. You see the XREAL logo for like a second, and then it just shuts off. I've had it charged. I've let it sit for a day or two and let it discharge and tried recharging it. I even contacted XREAL support, and they had me do this button combination of like a reset to it. None of that worked. This device is basically dead as far as I'm concerned. It never worked. Did not work out of the box. And the fact that other people have had this issue happen either out of the box or sporadically tells me a lot. This product is not, it's not the key, right? It may have some cool features, but I think even XREAL knows that this is just not a good product. That being said, these glasses are not all bad. I have to play nice. I have to be devil's advocate. A lot of this is my opinion and all that. The good is the picture quality is great. When it works great. Mirroring displays from anything works great. If you're using the Nebula app and you're trying to use 2 or 3 virtual displays, it works, but also it kind of sucks because when you go in there, basically you only see a section of your field of view and you have to turn your head to look at the monitors. I know some people have actual setups like that. I don't. In my setup here, my monitors are arranged in a way where my main one is dead center. My secondary is just slightly offset so I can see it in my peripheral. And then the only monitor I have to turn to look at is my third laptop display that I usually throw like Spotify or YouTube or something background stuff on there. That's how I design my setup personally. It feels weird to me having to look at something and when I want to see what's on my other screen, physically having to turn my head when I should be able to see it in my field of vision, realistically. But the picture quality is really good on these, so I have to give them that. The little Sony screens that are in these guys, they're fantastic. They're super lightweight. Without a cord or anything, these glasses, they weigh about as much, maybe a little more, as my cheap gas station Sunoco glasses that look the same, just they don't have screens, but they're the same style. They're very lightweight, and that's absolutely a benefit because if you're wearing these for a long time, you want them to be lightweight, and you can wear these for a really long time. The longest I wore these was for 2 hours. I watched movies in bed, so I was laying down. I had these on, big screen in front of me. I was watching movies off my phone, and it worked fantastically. It was just wonderful. It works really well if you're just needing a single monitor and you just want a big monitor. If you want to do things like double and triple displays, I've seen people get it working, but I'm really not a fan of the glitches I've had. Yes, I'm running a base model MacBook Air and a older gen gaming laptop, but even my phone, which is a current model flagship phone, had trouble with this. Now, I don't think Android supports multiple displays, but my point is still there. I am a power user. I consider myself to be a power user. And a lot of the features that this thing offers don't work for me. If they don't work for me, they're probably not going to work for somebody who does not have a pretty nice Windows laptop and a pretty brand new almost MacBook Air. So these things relying on an external computer is kind of a downfall in that sense that you need a powerful computer if you want to drive these because it has to render a virtual display, especially if you're using multiple displays. It's easy if you're just doing one and you're doing display mirroring. That's easy. But if you're doing 2 or 3 virtual displays, your graphics card has to render those frames. It's kind of like running a video game on one screen, except it's one big screen. The electrochromatic dimming on these glasses, I love it. I want it on every pair of sunglasses I own. I also want it to be able to go clear, though. I want it to be able to go clear, dim, darker, and darker. This is so cool. I don't think it would be all that hard if you had a pair of sunglasses, normal sunglasses, with a button on it, and a small little battery, and maybe even a small little tiny solar cell on the top or on the top sides. So that way, while you're wearing them, it charges that little tiny battery, and all that battery is doing is just running the electrochromatic lenses. That would be so cool. By the way, if you're wondering about that, if you have these set to any level of darkness, as soon as you unplug them, they go back to the lowest level of darkness because they're not powered anymore. That dimming shuts off. Overall, I can see these being really good for gamers or people who watch a lot of content. I watch a lot of content, but I also do a lot of productivity things. And for productivity, these just aren't it. I wanted glasses like Tony Stark had in Avengers, or that he gave to Peter Parker, the Edith glasses. Right? I want the displays to be built into the lenses. I don't want there to have to be a projection layer. I don't want to have to deal with plugging them in. I want the software to just work. If I am looking at something as well, I noticed that unless I was in direct sunlight or a lot of natural or a lot of room light, if I was looking at something even in the lowest setting, I could not see through it. And the whole idea behind these glasses is that they're augmented reality. You can watch videos, look at your computer, whatever, and still see through them. Yeah, you can glance down around the edges and see through the outside, but actually just trying to have a conversation with somebody and peer through, I could not do it unless I was in really well lit environments. I think it's cool. I think people could find a use for it. I think a lot of people will find a use for it. In my life, I just can't find a use for it. It doesn't serve the purpose I need it to. Like a lot of things, it just doesn't do the things I need it to the way I want them to be done. It's not a fault of the product itself. The product is early in its development. This is a very, very early product. Yes, this company's been around for a couple of years now, but besides them and maybe 2 or 3 other players, there's not a whole lot of people in this space, the augmented reality sunglasses space. Apple's got the Vision Pro. A couple other companies have their own style of glasses. Meta's got the VR headsets locked down. I think AR can be really good, and I want to see it be good. I want to see this technology further. So when the Air 3s come out, if anyone from XREAL ever sees this, make me able to make these clear so I can just wear them. If you can, either make the projector screens bigger so that way they cover more of my field of vision in the glasses, or try to get rid of them. See if you can somehow project the image right onto the lenses of the sunglasses. I think if you could do those things, at least, if you could also somehow get a battery and some processing in here, it would be awesome. Even if it was such little processing, something like an AirPlay receiver, so that way I can throw these on for 2 hours or whatever with a charge and hook my MacBook up and over AirPlay and just hit it. You can actually AirPlay to the beam. It has AirPlay capability. I know that from a review because my beam doesn't work. I'm really not happy about it. Ultimately, this product has room to grow. I'm sending mine back. I'm not happy with it. It's not the product I thought it was. I'm going to be keeping my eye on XREAL as a company, and when they release the next version, if it's got significant change, I'm absolutely going to get one and try it and talk about it. Also, I forgot to mention, aside from the electrochromatic dimming, you get this in the box. This is like a cover, so this like just snaps onto the front, and it basically blocks all light out. It's basically a welder mask. So like I can put this up to my eyes and I can just barely see the ring light in front of me. So this is essentially like a welder's mask. You can still see through it, but only in very, very well lit area. It's okay. I didn't use it. I actually ended up using it as like a protective shield when I put these in the case for the first couple days. It doesn't stick on real well. There's no magnets or anything. It just kind of sits on the glasses, and pulling it off is literally just pulling it off. So it's easy to fall off and all that. I don't think it would have been all that hard to just like stick a magnet like right there in the center and just have it magnetized on. So that way it at least takes a little force to pull off. They're going back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my take on the XREAL Air 2 Pros. It's a good product. It's an early stage product. I want to see what this product matures into and what the competitors' products mature into. It's a good start. It's just not for me. It's not a good productivity machine at the moment. Maybe it would be better if I could test the beam, but the whole idea of having to carry these around and now this around, and I have to keep this charged and worry about this now breaking, because if it breaks, then I got to use the good glasses, and it's an inferior experience. And it's just the quality control of the beams scare me, since from what I've been reading online, my issue is not entirely uncommon. And without the beams, the glasses are just meh. They're just screens on your eyes. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. I do tech videos. I do server stuff, home lab stuff, anything with a computer processor in it, I'm down. Stay tuned, guys. Stick around. doing reviews, doing how-tos, doing all kinds of computer stuff. It's going to be a rockin', kick-ass show. So stick around for the ride. Glad you could join us today, and stay educated, guys. Seek knowledge, love learning, seek to learn, always try to learn something new, and always try to be better every day. See you.